This is a series of 100 films about Japanese foods that I've eaten, and this is a film about oysters and maple-flavored sweets. Hiroshima is the city of the atomic bomb, a sketchy shoutengai in downtown, and some delicious Hiroshima yaki. With about 1 million people, it's mostly famous for Mazda. They're the big employer in town. It also has a baseball team, the Hiroshima Carp. They're a big thing there. If you go about 20 minutes west of the city, you can catch a ferry to an island called Miyajima. It's famous for one thing, the torii gate of the Itsukushima Shrine. And again, it's one of those things that appears to float on the water at high tide. At low tide, it becomes obvious that it's not floating. However, what's fun is that the ferry only takes about 10 minutes, and then you're on this beautiful little island just across the sea from Hiroshima. It's a very fun side trip. Ryoko. When you get off the ferry, there's the gate and there's the shoutengai, the Japanese word for shopping street. And then you walk around, and everywhere you go there, it's very, very touristy. But in a way, you kind of found the real Japan. And everywhere you go, you're going to see people trying to sell you street food with oysters. They're great because Hiroshima Prefecture is famous for its farmed oysters. Now, back when I was living in Toronto, when I was working as a motion picture editor in my 20s, I used to go out for Japanese food all the time. And one of the things you'd always see was kaki fry. Kaki means oysters, and fry means, well, fried. It was always on the menu of Toronto's sushi restaurants. And because of this, I thought kaki fry was a staple of the Japanese diet, and only upon moving there, I found out it was actually somewhat obscure. More of a regional specialty, and it's a seasonal delicacy because they're farmed in the spring, and they have different ways of preparing oysters. You can have them steamed or breaded or deep fried, and they're phenomenal. Once you've tried them, you can go up to the top of the mountain. Miyajima has great hiking trails with stunning views of Hiroshima. Ryoko. And while we associate this city with the atomic bomb, the truth is it's actually one of the most beautiful cities in the country. You can see the Torii Gate in Hiroshima Bay, and usually the weather isn't that bad either. Once you've descended the mountain, you'll find another kind of treat called momiji. Now, momiji means fall leaves, but it's also the word for pastries, shaped like fall leaves. Miyajima has an enormous number of stalls selling you what is basically a waffle-like pastry, filled with bean paste, chocolate, or custard in the shape of a leaf, a maple leaf usually. Why would my friends love it? Well, if you want to get the feeling of traditional Japan without the tourist hordes of Kyoto, Miyajima is a good place to go. It's a traditional Japanese tourist spot, and with only one main road, getting around is easy. Why would my friends hate it? Maybe they don't like oysters? Where can I get it? To get the proper oysters, you have to go to Miyajima. No grocery store in Tokyo, no matter how expensive, can make up for that. To get to Miyajima, if you're new to Japan, you may want to start in Tokyo from Shinjuku, since it's the busiest train station in the world. Take the Yamanote Line to Shinagawa Station, transfer to the Shinkansen, the bullet train, take the Nozomi, bound for Hiroshima. Several hours later, get off at Hiroshima Station, transfer to the Sanyo Line, local service, bound for Iwakuni, about half an hour. Get off at Miyajimaguchi Station. From the station exit, the ferry terminal is 2 blocks away, right in front of you. Board the ferry. After a 20-minute boat ride, the shoutengai, or Main Street, is a short walk up the hill and to your right. As always, keep in mind this information may be out of date by the time you're watching this. The word of the day. The word of the day is Ryoko. It means travel in Japanese. If you're not Asian, every single Japanese person will ask you, why did you come to Japan? Now you can answer, Ryoko. So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat it along with me, or at least that's what I do. Next time. So that's it until next time when we look at Japan's take on fried chicken. So until then, sayonara.